Hello everyone, Ted Simpson here, ready to show you another fine painting. I just got back from TwitchCon and I got a hat just for you guys. I'm going to actually leave the hat on there. I'm not too worried about getting paint on it, even though it was not cheap. 16 by 20 set in the portrait orientation, and I am putting on a little bit of the liquid clear. I don't know if you guys watched the whole pile of live streams we did at TwitchCon at the Bob Ross booth. Oh my God, was it fun. We did 6 12-person classes and 2 classes that were over something like 130 people. One of them I know was like 145. I think the next day was almost as big, if not bigger, maybe a little smaller. I wasn't there during the second big class. I was teaching one of the small classes in the booth at the time of the second big class. So I thought, since I really enjoyed Faye Fletcher's booth class. The first one that she did was this black scene. The second one was I believe a mountain scene. But I thought this one was so simple, and if she can teach it in with a big convention going on in the background with just a few colors, I thought I would give it a try, and maybe if I could make some adjustments to it to make it my own here, maybe I could do this in a class. But I really like the way that she did the sky. It was reminiscent of Bob, it was reminiscent of Nick. She put her own spin on it. So I thought I would kind of give it a whirl. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off the excess liquid clear. Whatever's left should have the right amount. This is an old canvas. It was previously painted black, parts of it, and I just painted the rest of it. It's definitely a practice canvas, so good to mess around with. And what I'm going to do here, now she did use phthalo or Prussian blue because we didn't have any phthalo blue at the time of the class. You, of course, can use whatever color you see fit. We're going to have some water here, but a lot of sky. So what I do is I have that sky kind of going up to the right, and then so I'll have the water come down to the right so that it works out. Makes it look like a reflection. There you go. Now, both of these colors are really strong colors. The phthalo blue and the phthalo green together. The idea here is I'm going to mix a little bit of those two colors together and just put it right around the edges of the green so that I get sort of a transition to blue. I don't have to clean my brush. That's the extra added bonus. And then once I get a little more color in my brush, and I'm now near the outside of the canvas, that color will show up more phthalo blue. Working with the green, transition, and then blue. So, sorry to you folks that might have already seen my accidentally uploaded video. I've been pretty lazy once I got home from TwitchCon here, and I meant to do this video yesterday and upload it for today's Wednesday upload. I uploaded a different video instead that was meant to be unlisted, and a couple of you saw it there, so I changed that one, so I decided I'll go ahead and do my Wednesday video for you. Ooh, one color I forgot to put out. Let's see if I can do this. Here's an old 30-year-old tube from a Bob Ross master set. A little bit of that a little too much. A little titanium white. So I think I'm just going to stop, and once again, I did prep right off the top of my head here to put out my paint thinner. Man, I can't even talk today. It's been a while. It's been a long, busy week. And this is the only day I have off before I do another set of classes. So this is your only chance to see the video, or my only chance to make you one. So there we go. Alright, so we got our canvas covered with the liquid clear. We've got our two colors on there. I'm going to come up here with a little bit of the titanium white. And let's get some color up in that brush. There we go. So let's go ahead and let's do the sky. Crisscross strokes. I'm just going to work my way up. There we go. Pick up a little more white. Start down here, and let's create a little blend out to the blue. Just right where that green and the blue meet. And then working my way out. See, at this point here, I have hardly any white in my brush, but still enough to lighten this up. See how that works? I'm going to clean my brush full of color there. Let's get rid of it. Paint thinner in a bucket. Got my beater rack down in a trash can. You can always see exactly how I clean my brush in my brush cleaning video, the Nature's Brush Basics playlist. Now, if you want this a little bit brighter, you can do this as many times as you want. Just go from light to dark. And look at that. You can even make some little swirls there. The more you work it, the more it picks up that color, the undercolor. And you can make changes. You can make little swirls and whirls and nebula and all sorts of different things. Then with a mostly clean brush, you can go over and soften and take out any of these lingering little brush marks and so forth. Okay? But what we're going to do next really takes off here. Pick up some of that titanium white on my fan brush, and you see that it doesn't need to be pure white. This little bit of phthalo green, you'll never notice it. And it looked like Faye dropped in some of these little swirly whirlies, but more of a horizontal. I'm used to doing the auroras being more vertical, but she put in some of these little things here, and I'm just trying to follow her general lead and swirl in some color. All these little wavy wing looking things. And then that same crisscross stroke, softening, not making it completely disappear, just sort of softening it where it lays. Now the more undercolor you have, the more blending opportunities it affords you. You know, there is a limit to how much you can blend before you lose all the undercolor. So, just like with that glow in the background here, you can do these little aurora things as many times as you like, but again, you run out of blending and the color will just keep getting brighter and brighter. And also you worry about the black canvas poking through. So, if you like it a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, play around with it, see what you can get. There's a little spot there where I was seeing the black canvas, so I put a little extra white there. Don't blend it, just soften it. There we go, and we take care of that problem there of seeing the black canvas come through. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up some of that white, and let's just say, gosh, right about there is where I want my water. I can already see I should have made my sky a little lower. A little more sky, a little less water. That's alright, it's only my first time doing it. I should have looked at a picture beforehand. So look at that, we got a nice start to our water. I did look at the picture. I called up the live stream on the Bob Ross Twitch channel and I watched it just briefly, and that was early this morning. But by the time I got to doing the painting, I kind of forgot. I should have made it a little lower. That's all right. Now, what should we do? I think I'm going to take a little bit of that mountain mix it right up with that dirty white. Might as well use it. And maybe we'll have a lighter background trees here than I think that's what Faye did. Again, I've already forgotten kind of exactly what she did. Well, I'm going to drop in some lighter background trees here. And just tapping down with my fan brush. I always say striking in and down, but there is a little bit of dragging. It's kind of what works for you here. I'm also fighting the glare of the lights here in the studio, so I'm going to come over here and make some adjustments as I need to. Get the different colors happening here. I actually grabbed a little bit of brown too. Create a little bit of a duller look here. Maybe something here. Just getting the color out there. Not worrying about it too much. Some taller ones, some shorter ones. And I believe what Faye did, I know, standing right there, can you believe I'm having a hard time remembering? I think she went ahead, I think so. And we're going to pull down a little down for the reflection here in the water, so it kind of mirrors it. A little bit of white, a little bit of mountain mix, whatever colors you still have on the canvas there. Just tapping and filling in these gaps here. You see that right there? Just getting some paint out there. So it looks like we have highlights, shadows, everything working together, kind of in a mirror image look here. Half of it's in the sky, half of it's in the water. Using my fairly clean 2-inch brush, let's turn some of that into reflection. Blur it a little bit. And just for grins here, very light lifts here just to keep that verticalness of the trees up there. There we go. Sometimes when I'm bashing away here, come back and fix this a little bit. You know, if you mess up and you don't have it exactly the way you like it, just go back and fix it. And then maybe a little bit darker land at the bottom of these. Tapping, lots of little taps. As long as it's maybe just a little bit darker than the previous layer, makes it a little easier to see. Makes it look a little closer too. Adding a little more mountain mix if you need to, as I'm tapping. Look at this. Nice little scene starting to happen here. Building our layers. There we go. Clean my brush. Take my good white up here, the stuff that's still nice and clean. There we go. Maybe I'll come up here, get a little bit brighter white, maybe juice these a little bit. There we go. Just a couple little streakers there. Really like that one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here with just a drop or so of the liquid clear. I'm going to thin down some of this white to make it a little easier to stick. And if it's a little grayish, a little dirtyish, that's okay. Just like tapping in grass here, except this, we're going to have a little bit of a snowy look to it. A very thin paint will stick to this color very, very simple. You just touch it. Paint comes right off. Little indications of snowy highlights here and there. Working my way down to the water. You can even create the illusion of hills, if you like. Look at as I tap away how it just keeps getting darker and darker. Just like when we do the nice spring grass. Come back with another layer here and brighten it up again. And let it get darker and darker again. There we go. Same thing over here. I want this nice hill kind of coming out from the right here. I try not to go back, but I realized I missed a spot here. Let it dull down to stop before I hit that next hill. There we go. Like I said, just working this nice and fast to get a video out to you guys here. And sometimes here working a little faster allows my imagination to kind of take hold and just get something done, so get something out there. So a little bit of that liquid white. Actually, it's a little bit of liquid clear and titanium white. Who am I fooling? Not gonna fool you guys, right? You know that. Put in a little indication of a water line back here. Lower the handle, lower the brush here. We don't want to curve, too much there. Try to keep them looking relatively flat for perspective's sake. Yeah, a little ripple here or there. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of the mountain mixture, a little bit of brown just to dull it down, make it a little darker. And let's come up here with our fan brush. Gotta have something in the foreground here, right? Let's tap a little tree right into the, I'm gonna do a happy tree, smiley trees. Get through that thin paint there. Just mashing that brush. Really getting that color off. And once you get that off here, sometimes you want to go back and make a couple extra branches and fix the cone shape. We want it to be narrow, going to wide. Sometimes it takes a little adjusting there. There we go. For it to make a little more sense. Can't forget, every tree, just like people, every tree needs a friend. So we'll give this little guy a little buddy here. Pushing in, working my way down. There we go. Do I have some more paint? I think I got enough for one more. Maybe a little guy over here just to offset those other two. There we go. And now I'll come back here. Why did I put out yellow? I guess I thought incorrectly there. I was doing a summer scene. Yeah, a little late to change our minds, but good to know that you can switch seasons on the fly, right? Just a little bit of that liquid clear into my fan brush and thin down that white again. Ooh, that might be too thin. Did I add too much? Oh, it's dripping. It's literally too much. I always tell my students, you know, you only need a drop or two to thin that stuff down. Come on up here, pick up some thickener, some titanium white. All right, let's come up here and just start fluttering down. Get some highlights on that tree. And you get a little bit of that reflected sky color in there. Maybe a little bit more on the left side for this tree. There we go. I am going to need just a little bit more of that titanium white. Can I possibly put out the right amount? Number of ways you can do this. Do you want, just smooth snow? Try just using the fan or the 1-inch brush. You want a little bit of texture to it. I'm going to treat this like the snow on the mountain here, and just drag it across with the knife. Make it a little rougher. And look at that, just like the snow on the mountain, we're getting these little crags here, all these little holes, and changing the color a little too. Reflected light from the sky, look at that. Don't overwork it unless you're looking for that smooth, velvety, snowy surface. You want it to look a little more interesting, a little rougher around the edges. Just let that knife drag across and drop that lighter color. And if it's too bright, just keep going over it. I guarantee you it'll get darker. It will, I promise you. There we go. Fun little scene. Not much to it. If you're looking to just play around like a warm-up painting or whatever you want here. That's a pretty fun one to do. I'm not even sure this color's going to show up. Gotta give a little sign here. A little T, a little S, signing up in the middle there. I guess I could have signed with a darker color. In the snow. That's all I got for you, folks. It's a nice simple one here. Definitely give it a try. Black canvases are awesome. I'll see you next time. Oh my gosh, I did it faster than a Bob episode too. Should I just sit here and talk? Nah. I'll see you in the next video, fellas and ladies. Bye now.